94.9 WSJM. For Bret Witkowski, I'm Dave Wolf. Wrapping up tonight's playoff game between St. Joe and Lakeshore. Lakeshore comes away with a 20-15 win over St. Joe in the pre-district game. So it'll be Lakeshore that are moving on to play Parma Western next week in the district finals at Parma Western. We don't know if that game is Friday or Saturday as of yet, but Parma beat Battle Creek, Harper Creek 38-0. So right to it. We always talk before the game about limiting mistakes. Mm-hmm. And St. Joe made some key mistakes at some key times. Starting off first off with Lakeshore having a fourth down, and St. Joe gets called for roughing the snapper on the kick, and Lakeshore goes down and scores a touchdown of it. So a swing of possibly 14 points right there.
Well, then you throw on top of that, it's not technically a turnover, but the Bears don't get in a fourth and short of midfield.
Yeah.
And so, Lakeshore made, to their credit, some key adjustments on defense, which really stymied the St. Joe running game, unlike the first time they played. And then St. Joe just, I think they ended up to 7 or 8 penalties when they had the ball at 20-15. Looked like they had a great chance to go and score.
And
second and one.
The penalties were on short yardage. They get a penalty, and then they got back it up with another penalty right after that. So instead of going from 2nd and 2, you ended up at 2nd and 17. So, there's St. Joe unable to make those.
And then from there, it forces St. Joe to do something that's not their strength, and that is get into a passing situation. Their passing game was set up best when the running game was in good shape. But when it was an obvious passing down for St. Joe throughout the season, that was not always their strength. But I thought St. Joe's defense did a pretty good job. I think the only time I thought they gave up was the pass play to Ort. I thought that was probably the one that didn't help St. Joe. But, the thing I'll say for St. Joe, and Joel and I talked about, there was never a question of lack of effort on St. Joe's part. Even in the game against Niles, I never thought there was a lack of effort. There was a lack of execution. There was different things. But that happens in all sports. It happens in all aspects of life.
With St. Joe making mistakes, Lakeshore also made some key mistakes. They, again, had some trouble with the snap and the long snapping. That led to the safety for St. Joe, and that put St. Joe right back into the game. You're talking about St. Joe was down 14 points. And then St. Joe all of a sudden is down 5 points. Yeah. The touchdown and the extra. So there's 9 points right there for St. Joe. And St. Joe still had a chance to win. I think another key mistake for St. Joe is on the fourth down play for Lakeshore with 30 seconds left. The defender from St. Joe batted the ball away, but then somehow there was an interception, which he just dropped the ball, and it cost St. Joe 10 yards right there.
Well, it cost him time on the clock.
Yeah.
But those that's always hard at the high school level for DBs to remember not to try to get an interception. The others.
Yeah, their eyes just light up.
Yeah, and I get that. The other play that didn't help St. Joe's fourth and 3 at the goal line. They didn't get that. They got a safety out of it. But at the end of the day, it's a game. I know people call it the war by shore. I've always kind of been hesitant. I don't call it that because when I turn on the news, I see what's going on in the Middle East. That's war. This is a game. At the end of the day, it's still a game. Doesn't mean you don't care, you don't try, and all, but it is a game. And these young men out here will remember this game. I still remember mine against Lakeshore. A lot of other games I don't. But
well, we know you remember when you played Porter Central because you won a game 2-0 when you were.
That one you can't help remember. Then the week after that, we set the record for most points in the season at the time. But these are special events. It's St. Joe rivalry is one of the best in the state of Michigan. It doesn't just mean football or basketball. And Dave, as you know, it means as much in
soccer, volleyball, even swimming, track. Yeah.
And, swimming's Bridgman, but
it's still mostly Lakeshore.
Yeah, but and it's a great rival. And one of the reasons St. Joe is an excellent school district is because they have Lakeshore's competition. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons Lakeshore is a good excellent school district is they have St. Joe. Rivals push each other to the top.
And when you push each other, like St. Joe and Lakeshore had, you just get better and better.
Exactly. And so, I've never been one that when I've lost a game as a coach say, well, we were the better team and lost. No, at that time, at that moment, the other team was better. And tonight doesn't take away anything from the effort of St. Joe, but tonight Lakeshore was the better team, and they proved it with the final score.
Final score was 20-15, and just to show you, we've talked about this before. If you can see the scoreboard, yes, I still left the score on the scoreboard. So just to make sure that, we've always talked about it in our postgame show. You go to anywhere, they shut the scoreboard off, especially when they lose. You see the scoreboard is still on.
Yeah, because it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
And,
and plus,
I don't think it's a bad thing to leave things up there. And it's okay.
And plus, I won't remember the score if it's not up there.
No, you will. You got a good memory. You're not good at much else, but you got a good memory.
You got that right. But it was 20-15. Lakeshore comes away with the victory tonight against St. Joe. Lakeshore moves on to the district finals next week at Parma Western. We don't know when that game will be yet. Most likely Friday, possibly Saturday. But there is that MHSA distance that kind of has to rule that, determine that ruling to see when that game is. But Lakeshore will be at Parma Western. Parma Western came away with a 38-0 win over Battle Creek Harbor Creek.
Wow.
And earlier this season, Harbor Creek lost to Parma Western. I think it was 21-6. So just to show you that the first game doesn't always transfer into the second game, as we saw here tonight.
And for the 6th time out of 12 times these two teams have met in the playoffs with St. Joe and Lakeshore, the team that lost the regular season won in the postseason.
And the other interesting stat, now I don't remember how many meetings, but it's 37-33. So in these 70 meetings, St. Joe and Lakeshore are tied in the number of points.
Yeah, you're right.
1,241 points between the two of them in the all-time 70 games.
Well, as we close out here, to shout out to you, Dave, and the job you do in providing us with all the information. You provide us a packet before each game, which really helps us prepare. Big shout out to St. Joe for all they do. Big shout out to WSJM for their investment in local sports. It doesn't happen very often where you have two schools like a Lakeshore and St. Joe and they have their own radio network. That's more of a college thing. But thanks to WSGM and the Midwest family for investing in that, and obviously with the coaches show, dedication to local sports. And thanks to my family, 32 years of doing this, or getting on the backside, coming down the hill. But it's still fun to be able, for me, as an alumni here at St. Joe, to come back and do these games. And people will say, "Oh, you're a homer." Yeah, I'm a homer.
Well,
that's my job.
2 homers here. St. Joe alum myself.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie about that. And, I would expect other radio stations to be the homer for their game. That's just the way. When you tune in to WSA FM, if you think I'm going to be impartial, then you're either drinking or smoking, because it ain't happening.
Or both,
because it ain't happening. I will not wish any harm on the other team, but I will root for St. Joe.
I guess the one key question before we exit tonight, was your heater on tonight?
Of course. 72 degrees.
72 degrees?
Yeah, it varied between 71 and 73 in there. We were quite comfortable. We even had St. Joe Cop come in when it started raining. hey, when it's lounge comfort, people come in. It's like the mother hub.
Final score: Lakeshore beats St. Joe 20-15. St. Joe wraps up this season at 6-4. Lakeshore improves to 6-4, and they move on to the district finals next week. For Joel Cordes, Bret Witkowski, I'm Dave Wolf, WSJM Sports.